My name is Sarah. I recently turned 30, and I've been married to Joey for a year and a half. When Joey, the man I've always wanted to marry, proposed, I was overjoyed. We both looked forward to building a lifetime of memories and supporting each other. In hindsight, those were truly happy times. The first signs of trouble in my marriage came about 3 months after we tied the knot. Out of the blue, I got a call from my mother-in-law, Grace, asking us to visit Joey's family home. Since Joey had wanted me to be a stay-at-home wife, I was mainly focused on household chores. Grace knew this, so when she called, I promptly said, "Sure, I'll be right over," and headed to Joey's family home. Upon arriving, Grace was waiting at the front door. "Hi, Grace," I greeted her, but unlike other times, she ignored me. Instead, she said, "Come in quickly. There are various things I need you to do today," and ushered me into the living room. Grace? What do you need me to do?" Grace sat down and instructed, "The kitchen sink is full of breakfast and lunch dishes. Please wash them for me," pointing toward the kitchen with her chin. I was shocked and didn't know what to say. I had never been treated this way before. Grace, seeing my confusion, snapped. "What are you standing around for? Didn't you hear me? I said wash the dishes." Intimidated by Grace's unusual demeanor, I hastily replied, Okay, and made my way to the kitchen. I stood in front of the sink, my heart pounding so hard, it felt like it would jump out of my chest. I had never seen this side of Grace before. Whenever Joey and I had visited in the past, she was much kinder and cheerful. So why now? The word harassment suddenly flashed across my mind. Could it be happening to me? Something I'd only ever seen in soap operas was happening to me in real life? The realization made my blood run cold. I couldn't afford to make Grace any angrier. With that thought, I quickly washed and put away the dishes. "Grace, I'm done with the dishes." With that, Grace replies, "All right, laundry's next. Then cleaning. Make sure you get all the way up to the stairs." She then lays back on the living room sofa and falls asleep. I'm left standing, puzzled. I don't know where the cleaning supplies are, or the specifics of how this household does laundry. I hesitantly ask, Grace? She snaps, "Oh, for heaven's sake. I just told you what to do. You're my son's wife. Can't you handle this? My own daughter, who's younger than you, can do all this perfectly." She then falls back asleep. I'm stunned and stand frozen. Why am I being compared to my sister-in-law, Lily? Annoyed, I decide to just go ahead and do the cleaning and laundry. Apparently, my way wasn't to her liking. I had to redo the laundry and cleaning. Throughout, Grace would say things like, "If it were Lily, she would have gotten it right. Why can't you? You're unfit to be Joey's wife if you can't even manage household chores. How embarrassing." She keeps complaining. At that moment, it hits me why Grace has suddenly become so harsh. She's comparing me to her perfect daughter, Lily, and can't stand it. Lily is Joey's sister and my sister-in-law. She got married before us and lives with her in-laws, so we hardly ever see her. My impression of her from our wedding was that she's outgoing and easy to talk to. I can't say for sure since we haven't had a deep conversation about it, but both Grace and William, my father-in-law, seem pretty lenient with Lily. Even at our wedding, my father-in-law William said, "Look how cute Lily is in her party dress. She's stealing the spotlight from the bride." Grace agreed, and Lily said, "Hey, that's rude to Sarah." Joey and I laughed it off, but it did hurt a bit. And so, ever since Grace and William started comparing me to Lily, my impression of her has been getting worse and worse. 3 months into our marriage, I consulted Joey about the first instance of Grace's harassment. I told him, "Hey, I went to your parents' house today because Grace called me. I did the chores, but she kept comparing me to Lily and complaining. Can you say something to her? Joey replied, that doesn't sound like Mom. But okay, I'll talk to her. I was a bit irked by his tone, but hoped he'd handle it. Unfortunately, it only made Grace more severe with me, calling me over more often. Every time I'd be tasked with chores and even major shopping. At first, Joey would say, "All right, I'll tell Mom." But as time passed, he'd say, "Again? Maybe you're just too sensitive." Eventually, whenever I'd bring up Grace, he'd sigh and say, "Look, maybe Mom's just looking out for you. Why not take it a little more seriously?" Can you believe it? We've only been married for about a year, and he's already taking his mom's side over me? I felt a sudden emptiness wash over me. Anger, sadness. I had moved past all those feelings and entered a state of utter indifference. Ever since then, when I visited Joey's parents' house with him, Grace started ordering me around like it was a given. Whether it was because she now believed Joey was on her side, she didn't hesitate to delegate all the household chores to me. Meanwhile, William, Grace, and Joey would all be having tea in the living room. Whenever we ran out of snacks, Grace would snark. "Sarah, you're so inconsiderate. If you see it running low, bring some more." Even Joey chimed in. "Sarah, more tea please. And make it stronger this time." He had started treating me just like Grace did. William wasn't any better, treating me like a servant. "Sarah, we're out of cigarettes. Go get some," he'd command. I wanted to scream, "Buy your own darn cigarettes. Joey, Grace, make your own tea and snacks." But what could I do? I was alone, and changing my situation seemed impossible. Fast forward a year and a half into our marriage. I was once again at Joey's family home. These days, Grace would call me over on Joey's days off, and both of us were obligated to go. At this point, I was pregnant and had just entered my 3rd trimester. I felt less than stellar, and honestly, I didn't want to be at Joey's family home at all. After learning about the pregnancy, Grace seemed more enthusiastic, declaring, "I have so many things to teach you as a mother-to-be." But in reality, she just had me doing housework for them, with neither Joey nor William lifting a finger to help. Doing as Grace ordered, I felt periodic stomach cramps and discomfort, even cold sweat. Standing was becoming a struggle. Despite this, Grace said, "Lily did housework even when she was pregnant, you know? You're slacking off a bit, don't you think?" Sure, my morning sickness might not have been severe, only some nausea and fatigue. But now, in my 3rd trimester, I felt weighed down, struggling just to stand. Hours later, while I was preparing dinner in the kitchen, a sharp pain suddenly hit my stomach, and I crouched down. At that moment, the front door opened. "We're home!" echoed a loud voice. From the living room, I heard Joey and William asking, "Ah, you're back. Where's Mom?" It was clear that Lily had returned. Footsteps started to approach. "Mom, what's for dinner today?" Lily walked into the kitchen and was startled to see me hunched over in pain. "What's going on, Sarah? Are you okay?" She hurried over to me. "Sorry, my stomach's hurting a bit." Hearing this, Lily looked at my belly and asked awkwardly, "Sarah, could you be pregnant?" "Didn't Joey tell you? I'm already 8 months along." I thought Joey had informed Lily since he told me he would when I entered my stable trimester. Suddenly, Lily started trembling. Her face turned bright red and she stormed out of the kitchen. "Mom, where are you?" Lily called out for Grace with a loud voice. Grace, likely having been napping upstairs, came down nonchalantly. "Oh, Lily, welcome back. I've missed you." As Grace tried to hug her, Lily pushed her away. "What? Lily?" Confused, Grace got a cold response. "Why is Sarah cooking alone, Mom? Especially when she's so visibly pregnant?" Grace suddenly realized Lily wasn't on her side. Her face turned pale. Well, Sarah insisted on doing it. No way! Do you know how hard it is to be on your feet all day during the late stages of pregnancy? You've been pregnant. You should know. Lily yelled furiously. Grace was deeply shocked that her beloved daughter wasn't siding with her and slumped to the floor. Ignoring Grace, Lily headed to the living room. Picking up a newspaper, she hit Joey on the head and yelled, "Who got Sarah pregnant while you sit here playing on your phone? Aren't you ashamed?" What? Joey was too stunned to grasp the situation. Seriously? Sarah's being mistreated by Mom and you're oblivious? Are you dumb? As Lily lunged at Joey, William intervened. "Lily, calm down." "Don't talk to me about calming down, Dad. Remember when I brought my husband to meet you? You told him to prioritize and take care of me after we got married. What about this mess? Your son is playing games while his pregnant wife is left alone." William couldn't utter a word and just looked down, his face turning pale. Finally, Lily told all three, "Cool your heads, you inhumans," and kicked William, Grace, and Joey out of the house. The room at Joey's parents' house falls silent. Suddenly, Lily seems to remember I'm there. She turns around and says, "Oh, Sarah, I'm sorry for yelling. Did I scare the baby? Are you okay?" Her strong demeanor from moments ago instantly vanishes. I find her sudden change in mood so funny that I can't help but laugh. "What? Sarah? What's so funny? I'm really concerned here." "Yeah, sorry. I get it, Lily. Thanks for sticking up for me." When I actually say thank you, tears start to flow. All the pent-up emotions I'd been holding back come rushing out. To me, who had felt so alone, Lily's words and actions meant the world. My impression of Lily starts to improve after this incident. Seeing me cry, Lily apologizes profusely. She says she's sorry for not noticing anything wrong before, for her own mother's terrible behavior, and for her embarrassing brother. "I'm really sorry," she says. But of course, it's not Lily who should be apologizing. Grace for what she did, and William and Joey for turning a blind eye. They're also in the wrong. Even I am for not seeking help sooner. I assure Lily, "Don't worry, it's all good now." And we sit down to the dinner I'd prepared. Afterwards, Lily drives me home. A few hours later, a likely scolded Joey returns. He's completely changed his tune, saying, "Sarah, I'm really sorry about everything. It won't happen again." When I report this to Lily, she says, "That's good to hear. But if anything like this happens again, don't hesitate to divorce him." And I fully intend to. Grace and William visit our home later to formally apologize. "We were wrong. We're really sorry." From that point on, no more summons to Joey's family home, and no more harassment from Grace. Joey also stopped suggesting we visit his family, allowing me to relax for the remainder of my pregnancy. All thanks to Lily. We've been in touch frequently since then, even having casual phone calls. We chat about this and that, feeling like real friends. Once things settle down after the baby's born, I plan to visit Joey's family again. When I tell Lily, she says, "Let me know when you're going. We'll plan a family visit too." It's so reassuring to have her. From the bottom of my heart, I'm glad Lily is here. I think everything will be okay now. With Grace, with Joey, I think we'll manage. And I owe this newfound confidence to Lily. If Lily ever needs help, I want to be the one to assist her. That's how I go through each day now.